So Renaissance coffee houses are an amazing opportunity to showcase student talent here at Renaissance. They're pretty much like a monthly talent show that we have. In order to showcase the students at Renaissance, we have people who do monologues, we have people who do dances, we have people who perform musical songs with whole bands, and it's really amazing.
You know, coffee house is kind of like a gathering of like a bunch of people that just have some talents they want to show to their friends. You know, that's kind of the place where everybody can show what they got and nobody judges them for it.
It has been my first and only coffee house performance, and it was really amazing. I felt so supported, and it was amazing to see all my friends in the audience cheering me on.
Hi, we're at Crockett Elementary and we've hatched a few chicks in our classrooms.
Almost crawled up my arm. They're so cute and fluffy. Also, they try to fly, but everyone knows that chicks don't fly. Sorry, chickies. My favorite thing that we learned about chicks is sometimes they will poop on your hands if you will hold them and like get all over you. They don't know what a bathroom is since they're just chicks. Ew, it pooped. Chicks have this tiny egg tooth that falls off once they got out of the egg. Ugh. Chicks grow up very, very fast. And by a week, they're always gonna have like that. Do you know that red thing on the top? They're gonna have that, I think, already. Then the chickies are in the incubator because their wings are wet and they can't fly.
What I really like about the chicks is that they're very fluffy and soft.
And they're all different colors and they all have their own personality.
I like that these chicks are like cute and the chirping is like really like cute too.
I'm gonna be sad when they leave next week. They're so adorable.
In the library, we did a breakout room, and it was super fun, but you gotta work with your group and your table to figure out how to do it.
It's about a person who discovered Braille. There's, I think, 2 number codes, 1 color code, and a letter code.
We did a fact and fiction breakout room. We had to solve clues to open the locks. It's a fun experience.
We did a positive program and we learned about songs about being positive.
We have the power, let's use it to change his thoughts.
Let's use it to improve our lives.
I'm happy that I got to show all the other parents what we've been learning in music class.
I was so happy to be in front of the parents. I like to see all the smiles and I like the bow.
Miss Christian is really nice and she practiced with us for a long time and she's really kind to us and she tells us a lot of things about music.
I'm so happy that she's our music teacher.
So today we did a Slinky Lab to show like the difference between a transverse wave and a longitudinal wave.
So basically, today we're talking about transverse and longitudinal wave. Show us the transverse wave. That's a longitudinal wave. That's a transverse wave. It goes up and down. Alright, now show us the longitudinal wave. No, I can't. It bounces back and forth.
We're using slinkies. It's a hands-on kinesthetic activity, so it makes it easier to understand, and slinkies in general are fun.
It's fun to like play with like the slinky.
Yeah, so it looks like the slinky's moving, but it's actually not. It's just the energy moving through the slinky, and it reflects off the other end and goes back into the other.
So the faster, the higher that frequency is, the shorter that latency. Yeah.
If you were to do it in the middle, like it just
Yeah.
like
So
kind
it's
of
stops. You have some interference happening there.
To help me solve a crime, please sit your agent teams. I have fresh information from the FBI and the CIA. There has been a murder.
In class today, we are reviewing evidence to see who murdered
King Tutankhamun of ancient Egypt is dead.
What? There has been some speculation between disease, possible assault and battery, murder through burning or poison.
We're learning about the overthrow of kingdom.
Some of the evidence was confusing to us because we don't know, like I said, about if it was natural causes or if someone murdered him. One of his feet had only 4 toes instead of 5. And the other one had 5 toes. The evidence is going to help us look at what was a possibility and what wasn't.
We read Library Mouse in class, which talks about a mouse that lives in the library, and he decides to write his own books to share with the people from the library. After we read that book, I had a first grader, 1J, that wrote us a book and left it here, and after that we've had other people that want to have their books here for other students to read.
I think that it's really good, and I feel like this could be in every single library.
My name is Wanje Han in Miss Vandu class, 1st grade. I made a book.
This book, it was really nice. I like all the plots and especially the art style of the dragon.
I would never write a book in 1st grade, so I think that whoever wrote this was will probably be a really good writer when he grows up.
I had notes from other students that were on my book.
He has a lot of creativity, and it's a really cool and fun book.
In 5th grade, we have been reading the novel Thunder Roaring in the Mountains by Scott Odell and Elizabeth Hall, and we've been doing a lot of fun activities.
So this Lego model helped with our essay with the differences and similarities with Chief Joseph and Sound of Running Feet in their beliefs and values. So the red portion of this essay is the hook and introduction. The green part, which would be the thesis, and the green part, which is right here, which is the conclusion paragraph, restates the thesis. This is the yellow paragraph, supporting paragraph 1, which helps the thesis, and this is supporting paragraph 2, which also helps the thesis.
Making these teepees was one of my favorite activities. It involved problem solving and teamwork.
We went in a safety house and we learned take 3 steps away from hot stuff. And when a fire alarm goes off, you should evacuate the house immediately. I learned how if there's emergency or anything, a kid or adult could call 911. When the fire department people come and there's a fire, they could spray it with water. If they have a really bad fire, they spray it with fire extinguisher and stuff.
In Med Ther, a big point of the program is kind of introduce students to the medical environment, and so right now they're putting on PPEs, so kind of it's an assignment, and so they're gonna practice getting ready for the doctoring field and stuff. It's like a big point of the class, so it's pretty cool.
When we grow up, we both want to be in the medical field, and this class helps us because it shows us what the real world is like in the hospital settings.
We do procedures in here that we'll actually need in the real world, and when I grow up, I want to be a physician's assistant.
And I want to be something in the pediatric field.
Part of the picture, there's actually another run of straw wattle.
So there was like different stations, and it was like interactive things where we would learn about like the environment and different career opportunities and just like a lot of stuff. It was very in-depth that I hadn't really learned before.
So basically we did a whole bunch of different experiments, and we also learned a whole bunch about like different types of pollution and what affects our environment.
It was really fun to be outside and actually get to like do things in the environment, as we're in the environmental science class, and it was just really good to get outside and to actually learn things, because I thought it was really fun because I love learning stuff about the environment, and we even got to learn about animals too, which is something I really love.
So once he gets back at the museum today, he gets a salad. His salad has lettuce, tomatoes, strawberries, blackberries, and mealworms.
So in 7th grade theater, we have 2 weeks where we dance. And part of the reason I chose to do this is because 1, I was a dancer, and 2, so much of theater is body and spatial awareness and being able to express emotions with your bodies. So I show lots of videos, and then we actually get up on the stage and we try to dance. So we do ballet, we do some tap, we do some jazz.
Today we learned about tap. The thing I liked about tap is that I've never done it before, and it was a new experience for me, and I like doing new things.
My favorite part was pirouettes, and it's kind of like spinning around with your leg up to your kneecap, and it was kind of fun, but it kind of made me dizzy.
To keep your chest up and your head up. You're gonna hold those arms.
So we're making these maps for our little ozone plot friends, and if we do them the codes, we'll tell them what to do.
My favorite part about this lesson is making the map and seeing the ozone plot go around the map and doing the codes.
I felt good, but then I'm like, this is my first time using a robot. How do I use one?
I felt good. On the first day, they weren't working, so I was kind of sad. And now they're working, and I'm really happy.
Reading is important to want to grow. That's why we decided to make scarecrows out of our favorite book characters. Since it's fall, we decided to use pumpkins as the heads.
We chose Percy Jackson for our scarecrow because it's one of the favorite books in our class. And reading is important because it gives you education and it helps you learn. And I think it's fun to dive deep in books.
It's really cool that we're using pumpkins, because when you think of pumpkins, you think of Halloween, but we're using them to make book characters.
We're learning about chemical reactions, and we're also learning about chemical equations, reactants, and products.
I get a more accurate measure than if I'm looking up or looking down at it, right?
Basically, when something undergoes a chemical change, the elements, they don't disappear, and you don't get elements out of the blue. They just rearrange themselves. Today we put road salt in one corner of a bag, baking soda in the other. We added the blue liquid.
It felt like cold on one side and like hot on the other side.
For me personally, I like doing the labs because they're always fun. I think what I like is it's different from 6th grade because we have more experience and hands-on. We get to actually see what we're learning. Well, you just get to mess around and do sciencey stuff, like, you know, putting dry ice in water to make a lot of bubbles.
And you get to like see what you're learning about when you do it.
It's really hands-on.
It's cool. It looks like
It's like hot on that side now.
What makes life worth living for you?
I put my family and friends. I put my family and friends.
Skateboarding, I just love skateboarding so much. It helps me get through life, and yeah, it's all I do every day when I get home from school.
It helps me through a lot of stuff.
Make a video with all of them when I go out.
Okay, I put for my family and for my Pookie. My Pookie's Hannah, and my family because I love my family.
Life is worth living for the families I get to serve and the family that I get to spend time with.
All right, life's worth living because anybody can make a difference and that anybody can be you.